But let me bring in the rest of the panel. So, Rob, let's address this question to you. How can politicians restore the public's trust?
I'll just go back to Billy's question about restoring trust. I think a big move away from career politicians would certainly help, and having normal people involved in politics.
The question asked most by the audience about you personally, Rob, was about comments you've made, in particular about women. Now, a number of you put that point. Are any of you... Can I see from those of you who have said yes, the woman with the... Did you ask about that? Yes, let's hear what you've got to say.
I'd rather have a career politician than a plumber who's a sexist.
So... Rob, I want to give you a chance to answer that. You know, I want to give you a fair shout. So just for those of you may not all be aware of things that Rob has said in the past, you described yourself as sexist.
Allegedly.
What, you're denying that was a tweet by you?
No, some of the things, not...
OK, you described yourself as a sexist. You have made offensive comments about women. You've admitted that. You've also said that abortion is the cowardly act of women murdering defenceless baby, and that women do it so they can shag anyone they want. That's your phrase, not mine.
Yeah,
As I say, I'm raising it because lots of people in the audience raise it, and I want to give you a chance to answer.
That's OK. I'll address those questions. So I won't accept that label. I mean, a lot of the things have been said 15 years ago. I hold my hands up. I've made mistakes and said...
The one about abortion was just 2 to 3 years ago.
I'm just addressing the first point where she said... where I was given a label that I won't accept. I was brought up by a single parent and my grandma, who was a widow, and an older sister. So I was brought up by women. I've got nothing but respect for women. You know, so I think something that's said, you know, 15 years ago, dragged up from an old rugby forum, you know, it's completely taken out of context. And like I say, I've made mistakes. I said things years ago that I wouldn't say now, and I definitely don't believe that on that point. You know, it's... Yeah, so I hope that addresses that issue, and it's like I say, I've got nothing but respect for women.
Can I just come on this point, though? Because I actually spoke to Carol Vorderman this morning. She called me because she is really distressed that you have failed to apologise for any of these comments. So you said
about her specifically?
Her specifically, and she is watching at home tonight. And I wonder if you can look down that camera and say to Carol, you know what? I'm sorry. Can you do that?
You know what? I'm just answering that one. So I think, you know, people have probably seen what's been said, but I never actually said anything to Carol. I commented on a comment. Okay. Don't get me wrong, it was a disgusting comment that somebody else had written, but I commented on the comment.
With approval?
OK.
Pardon?
With approval?
No, it was a crass joke, and it's not something I'd say now.
Okay. Can I just say, every woman in this room and at home has been subject to shaming, whether in person or online.
And that's disgusting. It's horrible, yeah.
I think you're just proving my point. Can you believe this? Honestly, we have all been subjected to it. And the fact that a man like you cannot sit and do a simple apology, I think is disgraceful. But on top of that, reforms policies on women are shocking. Right. Reform on day one wants to repeal the Equality Act. That is your party policy. This is what the Reform Party stand for. They are a party that has a problem with women, and they need to sort it out.
Rob, this is not all about you, this programme. I'll let you answer, of course, and then I must come around the rest of the panel.
Really valid point about, as a community, we want a normal person, a real person stepping in and taking charge to make sure the people of our constituency can get ahead in life the best they can. And I would rather have a community made up of women, of young people, of people with disabilities, than someone like yourself who is sexist and has shown on more than one occasion an opposition to diversity, just as your party does.
Reform, having their manifesto, they're going to raise the tax threshold.
Just so you're aware, I mean, Rob, you could say this about stage, but in terms of raising the tax threshold, I think it was to £20,000, that was a reform policy. It's not currently a reform policy. It's an aim, isn't it, but not a current policy.
Yeah, it was in 2024, but I mentioned...